Oh, snap. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. What up, party people in the place? Oh, we got a new sound effect. That's fun. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Excuse me. Let me get a little sip here in my Faro Munch. Get the fuck up, coffee cup. What up, party people? What up? What up? Welcome to Live in the Lab with yours truly, qunique. Here we are with another new episode. Today we're gonna talk about my good friends, the Beatnuts. We'll get into that in a little bit. Let me just see who's in the chat. Let's take a little roll call here. We got Mere Depth, the Machiavelli, what up? Alyssa, what up? Underground Hustler, what up? Ali, Mere Dep again. Yeesh, what up? Gorilla Strong. Who else? Who else? We got everybody in the building. Of course, Bahika is man in the boards. My man Stutters in the back. Hey, yo, Stutters, you should grab that plaque. I want to show off that plaque you received this weekend, man. We got to give a little props to Stutters, man. He hit a... What up, Gorilla Strong? Salute to you as well. What up, Yeesh K? What's going on? What's going on? So... the homie Stutters was training with the Beatnuts for about excuse me. I need that. Filmed in front of a live studio audience. So, so the homie Stutters was training with the Beat Junkies for the past year, and he finished and graduated from the Beat Junkies Sound Academy. What is it called? Sound Institute of Sound, excuse me. And I got his plaque right here. Look at that. That's dope, son. He got his plaque right there, man. And he's got a Beat Junkies ring as well. Some cool stuff. And I just wanted to give him all the love today. Give him all the love today. There we go. There we go. He gets all the love today for his accomplishments. One more. We're waiting for one more sound effects, but the new joint right here. Yeah, that's the bomb, baby. So congrats, everybody. Show love for Stutters. He did his thing. There you go. Put it over there. Thanks, Stutters. Okay. Yes, definitely. That's dope. Gorilla Strong. Shout out to CeeLo's for sure. Chalk, Retmatic, Flip Flop, Analog, everybody over there at the Beat Junkies Academy. Awesome people. My man J-Rock, all of the Beat Junkies. Very proud of the homie Stutters doing his thing, man. It's dope when somebody just keeps on adding to their skill level with their passion and all of that good stuff. So again, once again, shout out to Stutters, man. Detroit Throwers, because it's about to be the end. Is that from Father's Day? I don't remember what song that's from. Underground Hustler, I see you, son. So before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm going to be announcing this quite a few times today. Finally, let me do this right here. So finally, and let me show you the picture. Finally, this song has been going around on the hard drive for a while, but finally, October 31st, Halloween, this Halloween, the song with myself and Lord Goat, Gore-Tex of Nonfiction, it's called Toxic Holocaust, will finally be released. This song has been on a hard drive for a minute, just chilling. Got it back from the great Scott Stallone after a dope mix. And you party people will be able to get down and get funky with that song right there, man. I'm very excited about that. So get ready for that. It's gonna be freshness, pure freshness. As you can see, let me do this again, man. Oh, snap. Oh, let me try this again. Okay, there we go. Boom. I'm getting all the images ready for you, so bear with me for a second here. So today's subject, I want to give flowers to a group that has done some incredible work in hip hop. And I've been amongst the many that has had the honor of working with them. And who I'm talking about, of course, is the world famous Beatnuts. So, ladies and gentlemen, please show your love for the world famous Beatnuts. Let me get my little thing here. So, from what I gather from doing a little background search, because I know some stuff about the Beatnuts, but I wasn't really familiar with uh, some of the details in the origin, the great origin of the Beatnuts. You know what I mean? What up, Martin Vasquez? What's going on? Jason the Gaglia, my bro. What's the deal, son? Spoon. Pass the spray paint. Oh, incineration of your whole generation X. Next context sounding similar to top 10 must stop when I drop pen ink and sink what rhyme thinking. Iceberg, your brain state, got your mind sinking open like the fat beat sign blinking. Consider it illiterate, you can't read between the lines, and 10 times the pen rhymes you write on blue lines. Exaggerated existence of commercial sounds like pussy politicians got political prisoners locked down. Knocked down and hit you with the impact of a penny tossed off the observation deck of a skyscraper. I spy my paper like a boy, the secret code, the vital data that can shatter government bodies. Rock parties like a boulder rolling through a nightclub. Or might bug at the fact that 14 years of rap only got me underground dap. I'm past that like I missed my stop on the A train. Here's the weight gain from the great brain. Past the spray paint. Yeah, son. That was for you. But I'll occasionally do that. Like if you throw one of my lyrics and I know the verse, I'll probably slap you with one of them. But if I don't remember, then I apologize. I don't remember all my joints, but that one, 14 years of rap, you know what I mean? Like that's one of my favorite joints that I recorded, and it's so dope that it's a joint with nonfiction and arsonists. It's like one of those moments, man, captured perfectly, man. Shout out to my boys in nonfiction for sure, man. I did an episode on nonfiction. Oh, snap. Thank you, Gorilla Strong. Thank you. I appreciate that. Salute to you. Thank you. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the super stickers and the super chats are up. When you donate, it goes to everything qunique. You become part of the team. We talked about this in the last episode, I believe. What you guys are helping me do is keep the train, basically, metaphorically speaking, you helping me to keep the train on the tracks. You know what I mean? So when you donate like that, it goes into everything qunique production-wise, from what you're seeing visually to the music to the videos to everything. Everything circulates and keeps everything moving. So thank you, because it means a lot. You know what I mean? It means a lot. Sometimes it's kind of hard to put into words the depthness of what I feel when you get support like that. It's kind of hard to explain fully, but you get the deal. So thank you once again, my man Gorilla Strong. Thank you. Salute to you, baby. Okay. So, getting back, no doubt, Gorilla, and the Arsonists, and the Juggernauts, and, well, Company Flow too, man. Okay, so, here's what I gathered after doing my book report on the Beatnuts. Shout out to Juju, Les, and Fashion, Al Tariq, great dudes, and VIC, but we'll get into that. So, the first thing that stood out is Les. He met Juju through a homie that they used to, I guess, Les. So both of them started out more on the DJ tip with finding breaks and things of that nature, and just messing with turntables and cutting and making tapes and whatever have you. And I'll get to when they start rhyming in a second. So Les and Juju, they met through a homie called Loco Mo. And from the other thing that blew my mind, because there used to be a record store here in New York City. Excuse me, I'm in LA right now. Yeah, I'm from New York, so that's one of those habits that I have. But back in the day in New York, um, what up, Eon? Eon, sorry. What up, Eon? Salute to you, baby. Salute. Welcome. Um, so there was a record store in the middle of Manhattan on 42nd Street called Music Factory. For those that know their hip hop history, this was the one of the first go-to places for when you wanted to buy anything on vinyl or tape for with hip hop. Um, this place was iconic and legendary. And what's crazy is that if you know a lot of like your hip hop facts, what's crazy is that Mr. Walt from where the Beat Miners, there's some Beat Junkies, Beat Miners, Beatnuts. So Mr. Walt from the Beat Miners used to work at Music Factory in Queens, and then I found out, I didn't know this, that Psycho Les from the Beatnuts worked at Music Factory in Manhattan, which was like, for me, that was the main spot. Excuse me, I got allergies. For me, that was the main spot. And I've been there quite a few times where I would buy vinyl. I was a kid, I would roll up whenever I would get a little money, take the train into Manhattan. I think I might have brought Criminal Minded from there. I know I bought the Small Time Hustlers from the Dismasters. If you know that crack era shit, you know what I'm talking about. But Music Factory was an iconic place. DJ Red Alert used to go there to look, get vinyl for his show and whatever have you. And Psycho Les would be helping like Red Alert and whoever would roll up, probably Chuck Chill Out, whoever was on the radio at that time, get the vinyl for the weekend shows. So that already, like, that fact just blew my mind. He kind of like breezed by it, but I was like, hold up. What you're saying is that you worked in one of the most iconic hip hop shops before there was a Fat Beats, before there was, a Trill. Music Factory was the place. There was also Rock and Soul. There was Beat Street in Brooklyn. But Music Factory, man, that was a spot. So, man, that blew my mind, son. Blew my mind. Okay, so now another crazy fact was, like I said, they would DJ and make beat tapes. Detroit Throwers. That's a dope question. I'm gonna keep on pausing to read y'all. More than Shakira. Yo, you crazy gorilla. So my favorite Coca Nostra songs are every Coca Nostra songs that I'm on. Blind, Nuclear Medicine Man. There's another La Coca Nostra song that I'm on. I can't remember. What's the name of that song? It's me, Jason, Slain, and Ill Bill. I can't remember what the name of that song is, man. But overall, I couldn't say like a particular favorite one. I just think the La Coca Nostra is one of those groups that it was, I don't know where they're at right now with their production or whatever have you, but thank you, Detroit. Thank you. Did you know, Detroit, that I produced that track? So the quick story, and we'll get back to the Beatnuts. The quick story about that track, Nuclear Medicine Man. La Coca was recording in DJ Lethal's studio, and I happened to be in LA at the time. I was working on Stillwell at the time, so the timing of me being there was perfect. And so Ill Bill, he told me to. Thank you, Yeesh. Um, Ill Bill told me to come down to the studio while they were working on stuff. So when I rolled up, Lethal was there, Everlast, Slain, Ill Bill. I think Immortal Technique was on his way. I feel like Sick Jackham was there too, but I don't remember. So anyway, uh, I'm just chilling, laying in the cut. I don't know if I'm gonna be a part of anything. This was on the first La Coca Nostra album, so I'm just chilling, watching them do their thing. And then Slain suggested, he was like, "Hey, yo, I know qunique got beats," and lo and behold, in my, I had my iPod on me, and I had a bunch of tracks, a bunch of beats that I had made. For those that don't know, I produce Arsonist albums, my own stuff on qunique stuff. But anyway, so so Lethal had the program to pull shit off the iPod. So we slapped the iPod in his computer. He pulled the track that I wanted them to spit on, and that happened to be Nuclear Medicine Men. And then Immortal Technique threw his verse down. The crazy shit is we was all writing at the time. This wasn't like at that time. I wasn't doing what I do now, which is I don't really write much. I just think of the rhyme and then go in the booth. But back then we was all penning, and Everlast, he was actually sitting in front. He was sitting at the board, and um, he was just thinking of his verse right on the spot. And so when it came time to throw down, everybody threw their verse, and Everlast had his whole shit mapped out like right there in his head. And so he's another one like they said Jay-Z does it, Biggie does it. So Everlast also did it too. Like I saw him do that. That was cool. And lo and be, and then you have it. Medicine Men was born. Nuclear Medicine Men was born, and it was a part of the album. And I was hyped to be on that La Coca Nostra. So thank you, Machiavelli. I appreciate that. Hey, yo, Stutters, I need a tissue, homie. I'm leaking, son. Got snots coming out, man. My allergies are kicking out. I don't know what's up, man. It's whack. Anyway, so let's get back to the Beatnuts. Yo, Stutters, I need a tissue, son. Thanks, man. And he came at me with the allergy medicine too. You can hear me drinking. Damn it. Anyway, getting back. Detroit, yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. I had somebody else tell me about the lyrics on Genius, so I have to like take the time out and sit there and just comb through stuff, man. 40s too. Anyway, let's get back to the Beatnuts. Okay, so they didn't have a name yet. So Juju and Les, what they would do is they would make beat tapes, and they would go to school because they was in this GED program, and they were working to get their diplomas at this GED program. So they would go to this school and have these tapes full of beats, and the people around them. No doubt, Detroit, no doubt. The people around them gave them their first name, which was the Beat Kings. That was their first name given to them. So a lot of people don't know that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let me just make sure my mic. I can hear myself. Boom. Okay. So the first name they were given were the Beat Kings, and they ran with that for a little bit. And another like little sidebar fact that I thought was cool was Les. I forgot what his. Oh, he worked at Music Factory. Duh. He worked at Music Factory, so he had saved up his money and bought one of them big rope chains. There's a premise to this. I'm segueing into what he did. So he bought one of them big Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim type gold rope chains, right? And I guess somebody at his job or something like that was looking to sell a TR-808 and a TR-707, I believe. That's what he said. I think that's what he said. And for those that don't know, a TR-808 is a drum machine. It was one like you can hear that on earlier hip hop stuff or like bass music or whatever have you. It's got a lot of famous drum sounds on it. Roland TR-808. Machiavelli, almost. You almost got it right. I'm gonna tell you what Les said. So, getting back to what he did. So Les trades this dude this almost $1,000 rope chain for these two drum machines, the TR-808 and the 707, which is crazy because I've seen TR-8s go up for like $10,000 these days. It's pretty intense. So, and I think Les still has that TR-808. Excuse me. So he trades, he gets these two drum machines and he's set. So he's making his beats. What's up, Andrea? He's making these beats with Juju. He's got the two drum machines. They handing out beat tapes. Kids are rapping over their beat tapes, whatever have you. And they're called the Beat Kings. And then they meet Africa Baby Bam from the Jungle Brothers. This is a key meeting because Baby Bam brings them into the native tongues circle. Okay? Now that's where it gets crazy. What's up, Raps and Riffs? What's the deal? So I guess based off of their tapes or whatever, I don't know how they met Africa Baby Band. Wasn't clear on it, but Africa Baby Band brings them into the circle. Everybody in the native tongues. From what I understand, the native tongues weren't at the level that we know them as today, obviously. They were just like starting to get their albums done and stuff like that, and the Beatnuts just happened to get in the circle right at that time. So here's where the name changes from what Les said. Africa Baby Bam said, "What's this Beat Kings shit?" And Les was like, "Yo, that's our name. We're called the Beat Kings." And he starts laughing and he was like, "Y'all ain't Beat Kings. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are nuts. Y'all are the Beatnuts." And that's where the name changed. It started as a joke, like joke, like we're the Beatnuts, we're crazy. But then it just stuck, and they just ran with that. And that's what Les said, how they kept the name, how they got the name the Beatnuts. Sorry for the breathing, heavy breathing, man. My allergies just, I don't know why my allergies wanted to be a part of today's show. Hey, yo, Stutters, can you come in for a second? There's a tissue box right there. Thank you. I need it, bro. I can't let the audience see no snots, man. That's not cool, man. I could have never have predicted this. Anyway, thank y'all for bearing with me, man. It's all good, Machiavelli. It's all good. Yeah, it sucks, man. Take a snot break. No doubt. I will. I definitely will. Trust me. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So Africa Baby Bam gives them the name the Beatnuts. Okay, we finished with that page right there. Now, the Beatnuts originally was Psycho Les, Juju, Fashion, who became Al Tariq, and VIC Vic. Now I don't want to jump ahead to their first EP yet. I want to tell you, I want to let y'all know how they went from just hanging in the circle and handing out tapes to how they cross over and get into the business itself. So here's the deal. In the native tongue circle, there's a young kid. His name is Chia Lee, for those that know. Thank you, Detroit. So, in the native tongue circle, for those that know Chia Lee, he was like the youngest in the whole native tongue circle. And he had a record deal. And I guess from what I understood, Africa Baby Bam was supposed to help produce that album. And he, at that time, for those that don't know, the Jungle Brothers was like white hot. Like they had their first album dropped and it did great. And then Done by Forces of Nature was about to happen or was happening, but they just got like a big deal from Warner Brothers. And so the Jungle Brothers was busy. They were swamped. And so Bam had the incredible insight to turn to the Beatnuts and say, y'all produce Chi Ali's album. And that is what starts everything, them producing Chi Ali. So they get into the studio and they working with this kid, this young kid, Chi Ali. And you got to understand the reason why, part of the reason why they were, they were working with the young kid is because at that time you had Crisscross, you had the youngsters, you had a whole bunch of young kids being produced by a variety of different producers. It was like the thing to do at the time. So the Native Tongues had Chi Ali. So the Beatnuts go in, they working, they doing radio promos with Chi Ali, they're working on his album, they helping him with his rhymes, his cadence, all of these things. And the album gets handed in, and it did, I think it did pretty well. I remember Age is Just Nothing But a Number. I remember that on the radio all the time, and other things that he had. But here's where it changes. So the people at Relativity Records become really curious, and they're like, who are the Beatnuts? Who produced this? And they let me see if let's see if this works. Here's a little picture of me with Juju and them. Hold on for a second. I know y'all can see me on the side and all. I had to get that out of my system, but did I press the right button there? No. There we go. But that was me. We'll get back to that picture in a second. I needed to listen to Yeesh and blow my nose, man. Like that was very necessary. So the Beatnuts, their work with Chi Ali, excuse me, I don't want no remnants. So their work with Chi Ali gets them a record deal, their first record deal on Relativity Records, which is so dope. Like when I heard him say that, I was like, wow, that's dope. Just their production deal, just their production for one album gets them that. So they get the deal, and they start working on the Intoxicated Demons joint, the EP, which I think it was supposed to be an album, but unfortunately, Fashion, Al Tariq, he ends up going to jail for a little bit. So they cut whatever they were doing, and that's why whenever you look at their early videos for that album, Intoxicated Demons, when you look at the videos, it's just Juju and Les. And so now you know why Al Tariq Fashion was doing a little time. He was still what's fascinating about the Beatnuts is that they had this ill balance of street life and hip hop. And obviously in Fashion's case, he got a little too caught up and had to, do a little time. But oh yeah. We're gonna get into that, Marco, man. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get back into that. into that. Yeah, smart. We are the hooligans for real, for real. So, another side fact. I don't know how much of y'all know about like street culture and hip hop in the early days. So aside from Les being working for Music Factory at that time, which is already an insane fact. I remember I was kicking it with Juju once, and he told me he was part of this what you would consider a gang back in the days called the Ball Busters. Now, if you know your hip hop history, the Ball Busters used to have a lot of battles and I'm trying to look for a good word. Let's say conflict with maybe some Zulus, some rock steadies or whatever have you. And so when I found out that Juju was one of them, it's like, wow, man, it's so, you got to understand, being from New York, you trip out on these little details because this is street shit from New York. And I know the history. So when you find out that somebody was a part of this chapter of hip hop and street history, it's just real trippy. It's almost like if you ever seen, if you haven't, it's pretty good. If you've seen the documentary that Nas put out through Mass Appeal, Mass Appeal, if you've seen that documentary, The Supreme Team, there's a clip. Now, for those that don't know, the Supreme Team documentary is based on the Supreme Team, the infamous drug kingpins from Queens. And there's a clip of the Supreme Team throwing a party, and the camera like pans through the audience, and it freezes, and there's a young LL Cool J. He wasn't even, nobody even knew him yet. Like it was, and so seeing that clip is is crazy, because again, it's showing you that fine line of the street culture versus meets the rappers and the hip hoppers. And it's amazing because on stage are all the kingpins, and in the audience is this soon to be hip hop icon legend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy because what most people, a lot of people know this, but what most people seem to forget is that in those days, those early days of hip hop, the hip hoppers, the rappers wanted to look like the drug dealers. That's why you see all the big gold chains, the Dapper Dan. It wasn't like rappers thought of this. It's that we were looking at the kingpins because they had all the fly shit. They were wearing the Dapper Dan suits first. They were wearing the big gold chains first. They were flashing the money first and all. They were driving the kitted Benzes and BMWs. They were first. And so the rappers looked at that and said, I want to look like that. That's cool. That gets them that notoriety, that respect, that people are looking, they're the spectacle. So that was really anyway. So when I heard that from Juju, that blew my mind too. Little bit of a side note, you know what I mean? Nothing too crazy, just something to throw up in the air like that. So like I said, they do the album with Chiali. They get the deal. They're working on Intoxicated Demons. Fashion, who becomes Al Tariq, he ends up going to jail for a little bit. So they close the Intoxicated Demons. It becomes an EP, and every video you see, it's just Juju and Les. But from what I understand, if you really think about it, and I know Les had said this, the Beatnuts officially started as just Juju and Les. And the reason why Fashion was, excuse me, and that from boogers to burps. That's how we doing it today. Oh my God. Thank you, Yeesh. That's dope. I love when you do that. Yeah, exactly. Gorilla Strong, exactly. Um, so where was I? Oh, the reason that Les said that Fashion was brought into the beat. So Beatnuts start as Juju and Les, but they're not really rapping yet. So Fashion was brought in to be the rapper. But I don't know what triggered them. Maybe it's because early on when they were handing out beat tapes that, they weren't really making records. They were just handing out beat tapes. So I think they just started penning rhymes to go with their beats to kind of like give a display of, what potentially could happen on the beat away. So that's when they start learning the craft, all of them. And then VIC also came in, I believe, during Intoxicated Demons, with some of the beats and learning how to EQ, because Les said that VIC was more of a house. He made house music. So he knew how to mess with engineering and EQing and all of that too when he came into the fold. But I say that to say that officially the first two Beatnuts, the founding members, is Juju and Les. So just so it's known, because I know that once Fashion, who changed his name to Al Tariq, once he became Al Tariq and wanted to go solo and leave the Beatnuts, it was cool. Like there was no bad blood, and so they looked at it like, well, we were already the Beatnuts, Juju and Les, you know, and so it's all good. And they actually produced some of the joints on his solo album, with God Connect, which is it's a pretty dope album, man. Like if you want to dig into some '90s hip hop, like it's a dope. Al Tariq, God Connect. My favorite song on that's what's the name of that? Ooh, we beat nuts. I can't remember the name of the song, but it's got like this weird guitar bubbly riff. Ooh, we beat. I can't remember. I should have wrote it down. Now, here's where it gets a little cool, man. So I end up meeting Juju and Les just in the scene, different clubs, you know, just hanging out and just getting familiar with a variety of hip hop heads, and the Beatnuts happened to be amongst the people that I was meeting at the time, and they were always cool. Now, the reason why I say they're always cool is because when you come across hip hoppers that have that careful balance of street and hip hop, you know, at times it could be explosive. You know what I mean? So the reason why I say that is because to me, Juju and Les, you ever hear somebody say, nah, those dudes are real? Like sometimes like Fat Joe, people will question, yo, Fat Joe is gangster, whatever. Nah, he was real, man. He was in the streets. He was really in the streets. And the same for Juju and Les and all of them. So that's why I say that. But anyway, that's not as important to the whole overall story, because to me, regardless of them having that connect in the street, what they've accomplished in their career is just insane. So, on the second Arsonist album, let me see, I got it right here. Oh, wait, first, get a little. There's the first Beatnuts EP. It says Psycho Les, Fashion, Juju. This is this EP is so dope. Some of the beats on here are just so fucking sick. And obviously after that, they just put out a slew of material and produced. They produced for a lot of like. So let me read to you some of the who's who of their production credits. Fat Joe, Big Pun, Ghostface, The Alcoholics, Be Real, Common, Power Rule, The Lynch Mob, The Youngsters, MC Light, Curious, Naughty by Nature, Kid and Play, that one killed me, Tony Touch, Nonfiction, Mos Def, and of course, The Arsonists and qunique. So, wow, that was nasty. Anyway, so this album right here is where we first get to work with the Beatnuts. We got at Les first, and he produced our song, Self-Righteous Spicks. That's all Les's work. Thank you, Bananas! Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the super chats and the super stickers are up. Anyway, so Les actually came to the studio with his MPC, with his discs, and we watched him throw it up on the boards, the whole nine, put the beat together. It was an experience. He didn't email us the beat. He came through to the session, and it was a dope experience, man. And like, if you know the Arsonist song, Self-Righteous Spicks, part of the hook is, in the club we got a lock, we do this sound, and in the back, behind us doing that sound, Les is cutting the you better watch your step, which is off the books, is that sample. So for us, it was so dope that you know, we were honored that he did that, because Off the Books was already like certified classic with the whole Big Pun verse on it and all of that stuff. So it was just dope to witness that. And so Les gave us that track for this album. For those that don't know, this is the second Arsonist album, Date of Birth. So if you want to go check it out, it's called Self-Righteous Spicks. That is produced by Psycho Les. Then, what up, John Milburn in the house? What's the deal? What's the deal? Yes, he did produce for they did produce for Vinny Paz as well. So, yes, you're right. Now, how did I feel recording my first verse? That is a. I'm gonna take a break from the Beatnut story. That is a dope question. Let me think for a second here where I was. Um, I think the first time I ever recorded a verse, and my homie, if Jason DeGaglia is still in the chat, I'm not sure. Greg Nice is a dope hype man. We're going to talk about Greg Nice in a second. You just reminded me. Thank you, Spoon. So, before I could get up money to book my first studio session, my homie, he called himself Chronic. His name is Richie Santana. He lived in the Bronx, the Throgs Neck Projects. He lived in the Throgs Neck Project. Yo, Jay, you remember Rich, right? Richie, Chronic. His graffiti name was Chronic. Um, he would be actually the first person to produce demos for me. Seriously. And he had a TR-707, which is crazy. I don't remember the beats that much. I just remember geeking out because he was in the projects and he had like his 4-track machine and he had the drum machine and he had whatever he had. I forgot else. He had a microphone and all of that. You know, I was a kid and I didn't understand what I was looking at. I never recorded before. So I went over to his crib and, wrote my little verse and recorded it. He made me a tape. And when you do something like that, you think you're a superstar. Like you come out with a tape and you're like, yo, son, I just did my first recording and I must have played that thing over and over again, just tripping because now it's like you're taking something that you wrote and somebody's recording it. It's like like when you're a kid, this is magic. You don't understand how this is happening where the beat and your vocals and there's a micro. I didn't understand it. It was crazy to me, It was like science fiction in a way. So I just felt like I accomplished something. Like it wasn't even like a verse that was like killer or that is on anything that I've ever put out, but you know what I'm saying? Like it just felt like an accomplishment, you know. So that it was just a sense of pride that I got to do this thing that I had. And Jay might have, like Jason DeGaglia, homie. Like for people that don't know, homie in the chat, that's my bro. Like he came up with me in the Bronx. Like when I went to live with my grandmother in the Bronx, he was living with his grandfather. And I don't know if he remembers this. We would always play sports in the street and break dance and all of that stuff. And I remember one time, I don't know, we were kids and we was in the circle and I was like, yo, son, I want to put out a record. And I know everybody was looking at me like I had 8 heads because I didn't know what I was talking about. I don't know if Jason even remembers that I said that or that happened, but fast forward to like going to Richie's house to drop my first verse. It was like a sense of pride, like I accomplished something. Like it was already a record when it wasn't. Like it was on a tape and I was like, what? So that is what it felt like. So thank you for that question. That was dope. That was dope. Exactly, Bananas. Thank you. Thank you. Um, oh, Jason, yo. So, yo, Jason DeGaglia just brought up the craziest shit. So we're gonna get back to the Beatnuts, trust me. But so years after that, I get my first show, and what's crazy is there was this thing that MC Light used to do, and she used to throw this event on a cruise ship. Man, I can't remember. It was like Starlight or something. I can't remember the name of the event, but MC Light threw this event, and she would have us sign up and give us a place to perform, like young up and coming rappers. And so Jason was there. This was my first show ever. And I had dancers. Like I was trying to be Big Daddy Kane, man. Actually, I think, and what's crazy is that the other rapper that was on the cruise with us was Mikey D. So for those that don't know, when Large Professor left Main Source, Mikey D took over. He was on the next album. So he was the headliner for the show that I performed at. And again, I was just a kid. I didn't even have a beard. Like I was like fresh faced. I looked like Ralph Macchio trying to get a rap career, son. Like I always say that, but I did. I really look like but it was dope. Like Jay, thank you for reminding me, man. I totally forgot about that. That was my first show ever. And again, I didn't know what I was doing, but it was one of those things where just, again, having that sense of pride. My homie Jay was there. Chronic was there because Chronic produced. Chronic and this other dude that used to work at Dr. Def Studios, his name was Sub-Zero. That was his producer name. They were producing my demos at the time. And so that was my first gig, man. So thank you, Jay. That was dope that you brought that up. Totally forgot about that, man. The word rapper, I don't know where that comes from. I think that was more of like a pimps and players thing, I think. I would have to look that up, man. So that, unfortunately, I don't have the answer to that one. That was good. Machiavelli, that was before the Nomads. That was before the Nomads. The Nomads, I got some crazy stories, but that one was before the Nomads. I've been in the trenches for a minute, son. So, getting back to the Beatnuts for a second. I'm going to keep on answering your questions, but getting back. So, when I get to this album, wait, hold up. Going back to the Arsonists. So, Les produces the Self-Righteous Spicks joint that's on the Date of Birth Arsonist album. And then we get booked to tour the entire United States with the Beatnuts. So we went from being in the studio with Les to going on this whole tour with the Beatnuts. And yo, son, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was one of the best tours I've ever done. And that's when I got to be able to become friends with the Beatnuts. It's one thing when you do a beat, the homie comes to the studio, everything is cool, but now we on the road and we getting to really know and understand the dynamics of the Beatnuts. And the first thing that stood out touring with the Beatnuts was from the first show that we did with them all the way to the end of the tour. Every time they got on stage, we would be on the side of the stage just watching, because I remember the first show that we did with them, we finish our set and we get on the side of the stage and we want to watch them, man. They're the Beatnuts. And the first thing that stands out is how many hits they had. Like you're not thinking of it until you're like watching them do it. And when they went from banger after banger after bang, it was like, yeah, like we were looking at each other like, yo, their catalog is crazy, son. Like it was intense. And what was crazy about that tour, I forgot who said it, but Craig Nice was on the tour with us. And it was all three Beatnuts. It was Fashion, Al Tariq, Juju, Les. I forgot who the DJ was, man. Damn it, sorry about it. It was a homie Moon that they had, another MC, and Greg Nice. They brought Greg Nice on. Thank you, Jason. John Milburn, I'm gonna get to that. Who else is in the room? Finn Glizzy, what up, son? What up? So that was the first thing that stood out, was how many hits they had. And then secondly, how dope their show was, man. They had a really dope show, and adding Greg Nice to the show was such a genius move because, like, I had somebody, I forgot who had mentioned it, but for whoever mentioned it, yes, Greg Nice is dope on stage. Like, he is an incredible performer. He knew how to move the crowd for real. So in the middle of their set, Greg Nice would come on. He would do some of his songs. He would beatbox. He would get the crowd hype, and he would kill it, yo. So shout out to Greg Nice, man. He's a king. He's a legend. You know the deal with Greg Nice. I'm sorry, y'all. My allergies are really kicking in. So pardon the tissues for today, man. I'll do my best to not let this happen again. So um, from that tour, obviously we become better friends. Like, to the point, I remember there was just to show you the character of the Beatnuts. In the middle of that tour, I got sick. Like, I got the flu or something like that, and I was like really struggling. And Juju went and bought me medicine, tea, all of that stuff. Like, and the like, it's like, so, but it's like, you gotta understand, like, this is Juju from the Beatnuts. I barely know him, and he didn't have to even acknowledge us. You know what I mean? But it was like that kind of a connection on some like big brother shit. Like, yo, man, here's some Theraflu. Here's some tea packs, man. Rest up, get healthy, man. We got a long tour in front of us. So it was like, it was dope. Like that kind of friendship. So our friendship obviously lasted, and so fast forward, and we get to my solo album, Vengeance Is Mine. Boom, boom, boom. And right here, Juju ends up producing 2 tracks on this album. And yo, son, for me to have 2 Juju tracks just on my legacy alone is like, that's a badge of honor. So for those that don't know, Juju produced Diamond in the Rough and Me That Too. Those are Juju from the Beatnuts beats. And both of them shits came out ridiculous. Like, just very happy that Juju came through and just did that, man. Like, it's like, yo, my man, like, Juju gets mad props. Les gets mad props for being part of the Arsonist legacy. Let me share some pics. So getting back to the pics for a second. So we got my man Juju from the Beatnuts. You got, that's me over there, like you said, barely got the beard in. There's Stash, there's Vinny Ponte, skate legend, and there's Futura, graffiti legend, Stash, graffiti legend. If you got Nike Dunks or your graffiti, there's some graffiti legends right there. And then, let me get to the next clip where we are. All right, here we are. We in the studio. Les just produced a track on the Tony Touch Reggaetony album, Part 2. And me, Destroy from the Arsonists with the green shirt, and that's Tony Touch in the back. We got on that track. It's called Este es lo que es. It's a great track. So I was, obviously, it's a blessing to be able to get on a Beatnuts track. I don't take that shit for granted. So I was able to spit on a few of their tracks throughout my career, and the Beatnuts are just such an amazing crew, and I know that they are so loved. That was one thing that was the other thing that stood out, was that everywhere we went on tour, excuse me, y'all. Everywhere we went on tour, backstage was like a party. Like, not a wild party, but like a party of like a massive group of people that would come backstage for the Beatnuts and just show them so much love and so much respect that it just like, that was another thing that just stood out to me. It was like, and the reason why it stands out is because it's kind of like, you take these kind of things in. It's like, you look at it and you're like, I want that kind of love. I want that kind of respect. So what kind of behavior is garnering that kind of respect? You know what I mean? Like, you're paying attention to how Juju, Les, and Al Tariq are like maneuvering through that. And it's like you could see the mutual respect and them showing love to everybody that's showing them love. And that stands out because when you're a younger artist and you're going through all the different channels, you're paying attention to their movement and how they handle people. And it was just always dope. They're great dudes, man. They're funny dudes. They're dope at what they do. I just have so much love and respect for the Beatnuts, man. So love the Beatnuts, man. I know that does look kind of crazy on that. Like, oh, I didn't see the Drink Champs joint, Spoon. I have to go and see what you're talking about. Gorilla, part of the reason why I do this, and I'll have a few more things to say about the Beatnuts. Part of the reason why I do this is because when I look out at a lot of the podcasts, and I'm not saying no names because it's not about singling anybody out, but one thing that I take issue with is the level of drama, which people might use for clickbait. They want to get the likes, they want to get the views, or whatever have you, whatever their strategy is. For me, it's just not something that I want to do. I just want to be opposite of all of that. My angle in all of this, whenever I want to cover a certain group or a certain rapper or a certain hardcore group or whatever have you, or rock group, metal group, whatever have you, whatever genre, my thing is to give flowers. And I don't want to be late about it. I don't want to be late about it. In the case of the Beatnuts, they deserve all the flowers they get. And everybody that I ever spoke about, whether it's KRS-One, Run DMC, Nonfiction, whatever have you, I'm not here to look at their personal gripes. I'm not here to look at their political beliefs or wherever they lean or if they've acted a certain way. I'm here to just basically look at the body of the work and kind of point out what I know about these people and magnify the positivity in all of it. That's the point of this. Sure, I'm going to review my own albums and my body of work and put a spotlight on it. There's a reason for that too. I have to educate people on my work. It's part of my responsibility. But I split that with giving flowers to a lot of these artists because I love them. I'm part of this. I'm part of this. I've been a part of this for a long time, and I don't want to push negativity. I don't want to push drama, man. So if that's your bag, if that's what you're looking for, this ain't the place. I'm here to give flowers. I'm here to show y'all love. I'm here to encourage y'all. And I hope that the love spreads. That's it. So that's the whole point. And so thank you for realizing that, for seeing it. Man, fuck the drama, man. I don't need it. Life is already rough. So I'm here to give flowers. So that's the deal with that. Let me just make sure here. Let me get my little notes and stuff. Now, one thing that I do want to point out is one of the biggest turning points for the Beatnuts is when Pun got on the Off the Books song. That, from what I understand, changed everything for them. That song blew up. Thank you, Bananas. Thank you. Mad love to you. Thank y'all for donating. Thank you for the donations. They mean a great deal. They mean everything. Trust me, man. It keeps the things moving. So thank you. That song, and everybody, like, if you have never heard that song, please go. Everybody I thought brought it, and from what I understand, it's crazy because Cuban Link wasn't necessarily gorilla. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. From what I understand, Cuban Link wasn't initially supposed to be a part of that. He shows up because at that time, Pun, Cuban Link used to roll with Pun everywhere. They were like, you know, they were homies, they were brothers, and so he rolled up to the session, and when they threw the track on, he just quietly sat in the corner and penned his verse. So when it came time for them to let me get the word. When it came time for them to drop their verses, Cuban Link was ready, man. And I gotta say, I like his verse, man. I'm one hell of a guy. Fly, pelican, fly. That shit is dope, man. I love that line. That's that Scarface shit, man. That's so dope. So mad props to Cuban Link, man. I never met homie Cuban Link. But mad props to him for being part of a big turning point, which is, you know, Big Pun's whole rise to fame. Now, I've met Big Pun. I never really had a dialogue with him, and what's crazy is I didn't know what he looked like, and it's not. I'm not. Before y'all get it twisted, I'm not making fun of him. That's, you know, I don't speak ill of those that have passed away, but we only knew the song off the books. This is obviously before he dropped Capital Punishment. So he came to perform at the Rock City anniversary, and I still didn't know what he looked like. So when the Beatnuts performed and they threw that track on, Pun came out on stage skipping with the mic. And I remember all of us was like, oh shit, that's Pun? And he killed it. Like he killed it right on the spot, man. Uh, Man, hey yo, what's all love? Love's got a big nut. You know that verse, man. That verse is dope, man. I've met Pun, yes, and you know, for those that might not know, I'm a member of the Rocksteady crew, and he came to perform. Pun came to perform at the Rocksteady anniversary with the Beatnuts. This is before um, he put out a solo. And then when he dropped the solo album, myself, Crazy Legs, I think Destroy, a few of us, we went to his album release party, and that shit was crazy. He had that leatherish shirt that said Pun on it, a big pun, and he was performing. He had the whole crew. It was dope because it was we were seeing something that was about to, like, you know, like take over. Pun had a crazy moment, man. He was killing it on radio, he's killing it in the streets. And so it was dope. Even though I never became his friend, I didn't, like I said, I never really spoke to him. I never said anything really to him, but I respected him. I respected his pen game. Obviously, he was ill. And so to be able to at least say that he came to Rocksteady, he tore that down. Then we went to his album release party for Capital Punishment. He tore that shit down. And then he had that incredible career that he had, man. It's like props and just so much loved, and still rest in power, Big Pun. And that's the deal with that, all of that. And while I'm on the subject, I have to just mention and show respect, and we all should. And if you can, put put hearts up for D'Angelo. Um, I that was I think it surprised all of us. For those that are fans of D'Angelo, D'Angelo was an anomaly. He was a multi instrumentalist. He was an amazing artist. He was one of the most artsy art. I remember me and Legs, we were talking about how we went to this party. He was there. It was like a some Giorgio Armani party, that because at the time Giorgio Armani was giving us gear. But you know, we lost a dope. Words can't even describe. It's crazy. I was in the gym today for some reason. I just threw on the Brown Sugar album, and I found myself getting emotional. I had to like just like stop for a second and like switch. Not because I hated. I just found myself getting choked up. 'Cause, he was young, man. He was only 51, and like he has children, and this legacy that we all know is just beautiful. So just thank y'all for the hearts and the flowers, and just Rest in peace, D'Angelo, man. Like an amazing musician, for reals. Okay, let's bring the vibe up. Let's bring the vibe up. Let's bring the vibe up. So on another note, my homie, I have this other, for those that know with the rock stuff, I have a lot of different projects from Stillwell to Rodimus to the currently I got Mother Fuzz. There was one band that I have called King's Bounty, and we ended up changing the name to Soul Gun. The reason why I bring up this band is because we the guitar player, who's one of my best friends, his name is Mike DeJean. And if you know your New York hardcore history, Mike DeJean is also part of this band called Crown of Thorns. And he's been like almost like he's a legend in the New York hardcore community. And he recently produced the new Agnostic Front album, and they just released a new video with DMC from Run DMC in it. So if you haven't had a chance, please afterwards type in the search Agnostic Front DMC. The video it's beautiful. Like they did an amazing job. The director Blake Farber, who directed both King's Bounty's first video, Denial, and the Soul Gun video, Broad Daylight. You could see his work there as well. Actually, he edited Broad Daylight, but he directed Denial. He directed the new Agnostic Front DMC video. So if you get a chance, if you're a hardcore fan, even if you're not, check out. It's a beautiful video. And I just want to salute Mike DeJean, Blake Farber, and Agnostic Front and DMC for putting together a great song, great video. Make sure y'all check that out, for reals, man. Yes, with Danny Diablo. Exactly. Salute to Danny Diablo as well. Yes, sir. Thank you, Gorilla, for always showing love, for running from heaven. Thank you. I see you, man. Like, thank you for giving props to Mother Fuzz. We putting that work in. Bananas, yes, I have. That's a dope question. That is a dope question. Actually, go to episode 1. I do a whole breakdown. Go to episode 1 of Live from the Lab. But I will tell you the 2 songs that I've done. So the first time I ever worked with Wu-Tang, the homie, let me get the pickup real quick. Oh, man. All right, so here we are. All right, let me put this pickup so you know who I'm talking about. So the homie with the white T-shirt, that's Vinnie Ponte. Okay, Vinnie Ponte is like he's like a legend. He's a legendary skater from New York City, and Vinnie would hang out with Wu-Tang, specifically Power and Ray. They were like all boys. One day, I'll say it quick. One day, Vinny calls me. I'm at home. He's like, yo, bring some beats to the crib. Raekwon is here. I go to the crib. Raekwon picks one of my beats. You hear more of the details if you go to episode 1 of Live from the Lab. Raekwon picks one of my beats. They asked me to engineer a session, which was already insane. I'm recording Raekwon as he's spitting his verse. Raekwon ends up giving me the whole track. I put my verse on. And the name of the song is called Cup of Tea. It's on Legacy Series, I don't remember. It's either on Volume 1 or Volume 2. And actually, I'm going to look on my phone while we're talking so I can tell you specifically. Wait, where's my live studio audience at, man? I like that, man. I like that. So, all right, here we are. So I can tell you specifically where you can hear these songs, man. I don't want to leave you out in the cold like that. You know what I mean? So, all right, wait. Nope, that's not it. Where is it, man? Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, so Cup of Tea is on Legacy Series Volume 2. So if you want to go check that out. Now, I explained the whole story better on episode 1 of Live from the Lab. So if you want to hear the full story about me and Raekwon and Vinnie Ponte, go check that out. Now, the second Wu-Tang member that I got a chance to work with was Capadonna. who made the ice cream song Bananas? You talking about Raekwon? Yeah. If you that's Raekwon is, yeah, that's ice cream. He's also built for Cuban Links, the Purple Tape. Raekwon's a legend. Um, so I got to work with Capadonna. So I was a few years ago. I was working with Mark O'Connell, who was the drummer for Taking Back Sunday. For those that know that band, Taking Back Sunday, and we were working on some music together. And he and his production partner Daniel Wallace, they put together this track, and they wanted to do a track with me, the lead singer from Taking Back Sunday, and Capadonna, a hip hop track, and we ended up doing it. Um, let me get the name of the song. I'm so sorry that I don't remember the name of the song. That's a big fail for me. You get to this point where you start putting out too many joints, and you start forgetting lyrics, and you start forgetting. Here we are. Boom. Let me look at it. I'm getting to it. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now. I'm actually the person that titled the song. That's pretty funny. So the name of the track is called Verrazano Villains. The reason why I named it Verrazano Villains is because I'm from Brooklyn originally, and I'm from Gravesend, for those that don't know that area. And the Verrazano Bridge is really close to the neighborhood. Or you could go to Bay Ridge and see the Verrazano Bridge. And Capadonna's from Staten Island. That's the other side of the Verrazano Bridge. So the thing that connected me and Capadonna, not only Taking Back Sunday, but was the Verrazano Bridge. And so that's why I came up with the title Verrazano Villains. But check out that song as well, man. That's a cool song. I think me and Capadonna, we came through. We both went nuts on that track. So if you haven't heard that track, there's a playlist. You can type in qunique Verrazano Villains, or there's a playlist. It's called that qunique playlist, Sean. And that song is on there with a bunch of like qunique favorite songs. So Danny Diablo, yeah, he's been on for a minute. He's been on for a minute. I don't know his exact date of starting, but yeah, he has been on for a minute, especially in the hardcore scene. So that's the deal with that. Yes, we do, Gorilla Strong. We do, and I've done work with the Lords of Brooklyn. It's dope that you brought that up. The Lords of Brooklyn are the first group to put me on stage with a live band and start the whole like me wanting to get into. It's Crazy like I told that story too. So Crazy Legs is the first person to tell me to do rock music, and the Lords of Brooklyn is the first band to invite me to perform while they played. So it's kind of crazy that you brought that up, man. So there's a lot of crazy connection with the Lords of Brooklyn and myself, but that's one of the bigger ones. Yeah, Lord Ezak. Yep. Yep. Um, let me see. So yeah, that's so we finished my Beatnuts book report for the day. I hope overall we get a good gist of the Beatnuts. For more information, obviously, you could go Google, you could go on YouTube, but here, stay on YouTube and look for the different interviews and stuff. There's some cool dudes, man. And obviously, for me, aside from giving them flowers, it's been amazing to have worked with them as many times as I have. It's been an honor and privilege. So definitely love and salute for the world famous Beatnuts. ADM, yes, and Caves and the whole clique, man. Am I out? Oh, no. Yo, man. I put my boxer too. Oh. Yo, man, this allergy medicine never kicked in. Swag, son. I'm gonna write a very angry letter. Anyway. So, one more time, yo. I'm gonna remind y'all. Remember, first announcement I'm gonna make, October 31st, qunique, Lord Goat, aka Gore-Tex from Nonfiction, Toxic Holocaust, brand new single dropping. For those that know about that song, y'all heard it. I leaked it on one of the episodes. I think it's the nonfiction episode. But October 31st, keep an eye out. I'm going to keep on announcing it. There's a pre-save link. I believe if you hit the link tree in the bio, there should be a pre-save link for that single. So if you get a chance, go check out or pre-save so you're reminded to check out the new qunique Lord Goat track called Toxic Holocaust coming out on Halloween. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get back over here. Oh, no. Hold on. I'm tripping. Let me do this first. You know I gotta always do this because it's part of the plan, man. Okay. Also, don't forget, got the qunique merch. You see it, the Vengeance is Mine 20th anniversary challenge coin. Got the Arsonists here. We got some original Vengeance is Mine CDs. Got the Mechanic CD. Then we got the qunique gear right here. This right here is called Designer Rhymes. And so what that is my rhymes are in the shape of the design on the shirt. So that shirt is the Diamond in the Rough shirt. That's all the lyrics in the shape of a diamond. They got different forms: t-shirt, tank top, hoodie, hardcore. I always say hardcore, I don't know why. Hardcover journal book or a tote bag. And then there's the same for chestnut checkers, green grass, Brooklyn, Bronx, Brooklyn, the Brooklyn verse. And then if you really feel froggy, you can go up on Amazon and cop any qunique shirt in different designs. Different graffiti artists came through and gave me a qunique design you could see. And there's also some OG Arsonists apparel as well. So that's all up on qunique.com. There's a link in the bio, I believe, as well. So that's the deal with that. Boom. Let's get back over here. And so that's all the announcements. Also, thank you, Yeesh. Thank you so very much for your support on that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Gorilla, what are you saying? Green glass. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, Jason, you going for it right now. I'm not going to tell you how I got it, but I have that street sign. So what Jason is talking about, there was this dude, I'll talk about it on another episode, but I'll briefly talk about it now. There was this dude that was doing street signs for rappers' lyrics that talked about certain areas in New York City. And so one of my song, Crack Era, I say, we used to battle on Swinton and Samson till Louis wilded out and put a clip in his handgun. Listening to DMC stand with his band guns, graffiti trains, Cazelle's kid, we was mad young. So I said Swinton and Samson, which is a intersection in Throgs Neck, where the Throgs Neck Projects is right there on the hill and all of that. We used to, Jason could tell you, we used to go up there and battle like different breakers and all of that and just hang and all of that. And so when homie caught wind, he ended up making a street sign of my lyrics and put it up right in the Bronx, right there on the corner of Swinton and Sampson. But somehow magically that street sign ended up in my house. So wait, the live studio audience, you gotta do that. Oh my God. Yes, Andrea, we're gonna get to that too. I know the holidays are coming in, so we're definitely gonna get to the new qunique merch. We gotta get some qunique black coffee mugs out there and all of that. So we'll see what's up with that. But yo, ladies and gentlemen, let me yo, Stutters, you know I forgot which one is for the track for the beat. Yo, Stutters, I forgot. I gotta bring up the volume, son. So you know what time it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go into the booth. Yo, Stutters, which mic is for the booth? Yo, Stutters, I need you to switch that. I'm gonna throw on the mic booth. I'll see y'all in the mic booth. 1, 2. What up, y'all? We in the mic booth now. We're gonna have some fun today. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. Thank y'all for the super stickers, the super chats. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Thank y'all for hanging with me. This is qunique, another episode of Live from the Lab. Thank you for the super chats and the super stickers. Thank you for the dope questions. Thank you for hanging with me every Wednesday. Tune in next week for a brand new episode. Pardon the allergies, pardon the tissue. But yo, it's all love. Spread love. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Peace.